Hey guys, and welcome to this new YouTube video. I am so pumped about this because a lot of you has asked me to do this video. A lot of you asked me a question related in a way to retail stores in the past couple of months. Even the last year, last year, obviously I got a lot of them, but those were mostly requests. Hey, help me move my store to the online world. But now that the world is coming back to where it was before this pandemic struck, a lot of retail owners ask me, how can I, hey Remus, what can I do to increase my foot traffic? What can I do to create an environment that people are willing to come back to? Because I don't really like this online experience. It's these online shops because I cannot leverage the experience I have in a store. Like, I cannot talk to a person and convince them to buy as if they were walking inside my my Swiss shop or whatever it is, right? So it's an interesting question, and I went out there. I gathered some stats from the past years, which are mind blowing, to be honest. I compressed all my experience, all my customers' experience in this 4-step formula, which I'm going to show you in a moment here, which can bring you your current retail store from where it sits today to a third, a fourth, a 10th location in the next couple of years. It can become a booming business, especially with the US economy getting back on track right now. Okay, so let's get started. As you already see on the screen, in 2018, the sales volume for physical stores was $6 trillion, which is a huge, I cannot even think of how much money that is, right? But when you compare this to 2007, which was the pre-recession high, right, which was 4.4 trillion, you can easily spot an increase here. This is like almost a 50% increase in volume, which is amazing. Like, so if this continues like that, we could easily pass the $10 trillion by 2023, probably even $30 trillion. But more on that soon. Because before I dive deep into that, what I want to tell you is, as you can also see, like 90% of retail sales are still happening in the physical stores. And this is for my customers as well. Like, from what I observed lately, as soon as the US started to open back, most of the clients who had a business before the pandemic struck, the retail business obviously, even though they transitioned online, they did well during the pandemic, they now see the increase in retail sales in physical stores. So as much as we'd like to think as marketers or agency owners that people are still looking to buy online, when it comes to retail stuff, they are still buying in store most of the time, right? Obviously, websites help, ads help. Ads help to just drive more traffic to the store. Again, you'll see in the end something real cool there. But as I told you, we expect to have a $30 trillion raise in the volume, because if you look at the equation from 2018, you'll see the 50% increase. If we go by that, you'll see that it's kind of normal to expect $30 trillion by 2023. And again, out of this 30 trillion, most of it, like as I told you, 90% will be made in physical stores. So it's imperative you do something about your physical store. But obviously this ties back into digital, because the digitalization will change the face of the retail trade industry. So the retail stores alone will not get 30 trillion without having some digitalization backbone there, right? So you have to get into this game. You have to play the digital game. Uh, if you do not engage in it, you'll be left behind. Your store will be left behind. Thus, you'll get less profits. So how can you do that, right? 75%, and this is staggering, like 75% of the buyers prefer to buy from brands that personalize the purchase experience. And take extra attention in this. I'm not talking about personalizing the product. So let's say you have a pizza shop, right? Something that's not that easy to personalize. You have like 10 different kinds of pizza you serve, and I just told you, hey, 75% of the people will only buy from you if you have personalized stuff in there. It's not about that. It's about the experience you give the customer when they're in your shop wanting to buy from you, right? So let's say there is this, I don't know, like super thought of funnel that you have them go through as soon as they cross your pizza shop's door until they leave. Like maybe the waiter brings them this tablet, like they can order off a tablet, or maybe it's like you put on a show for them, or maybe maybe you can create personalized pizza. Or I was the pizza at this pizza place. I can't remember the name, but it was one of those moms and pops pizza places. So it wasn't something like nationwide or even statewide. It was like super local. Anyway, so the thing is, they made this thing, and I was pretty amazed by it. You could buy a pizza like split in half. Like you could choose two pizzas from a menu, and they would make half the pizza, let's say a pepperoni pizza, and the other half like a margarita, right? So you can have like a pizza which is split into two, which is super convenient for those moments when you have no idea what you're going to get, right? So you can try something like that. And more on this, like 82% of the people buy research stuff, which means that the retail industry needs to be comfortable with a customer journey that happens, like for the most part, on people's phones, and not only that, uses the technology to enhance this process. So there are a couple of tips I could give you here, but for that we'll go we'll get back to it later. Before that, let's just one last thing about the buyers. It's that be a baby boomer, which is more or less 55 to 75, or a Gen Zer, which is a super young adult, or a kid, like it's 6 years old to 28 years old, give or take a bit. They all like buying from physical stores. As you can see, like the baby boomers, 62% of them said, yeah, we'll still go to a physical store, we'll like buying stuff from there. Whereas 58% of the Gen Zers said the same thing. And with this type of stats, especially in the Gen Zers area, you could say, hey, I mean, retail is not going anywhere. And now that you're seeing this, the $30 trillion estimate, it's not that far away, right? Because people are still going to retail stores. Like between the baby boomers and the Gen Zers, it's only a 4% decrease. And keep in mind that the Gen Zers just been through a pandemic, which shifted their whole lives. So the decrease might come from that. But again, you have to have that retail store on point. And for that, I have this 4-step formula for you. The first one is experience. And create an experience that people crave to get back to. And this ranges from smell to customer service to special things like the pizza cut in half, like I told you about. So whatever it is, strive to create an experience, right? Strive to do that. How do you do that? It's either hiring a coach that could guide you to that, or you can just test it, right? Just think of an experience, ask your spouse, ask your friends, hey, would it be cool if I did this or that? And see what I tell you. And if the answer is yes, just go ahead and do that. If the answer is no, you're most probably on the wrong path, but you can try it anyways, as long as it's not super expensive and as long as you have enough people to test it on. But we'll get that on step number 4. In the meanwhile, step number 2 is to be mobile friendly. And I'm not talking about websites here. Obviously, if you have a website, and you should have a website in 2021, it should be mobile friendly. But what I'm trying to convey here is the fact that your store, like in-store experience, should be mobile friendly, right? If you can take advantage of AR, that's even great. So for example, let's say you're at Ross, like let's imagine this. And all of a sudden Ross has this, for specific products at first, has this QR code that you scan and it pops up this VR experience and you can see the product and how it fits on your head, on your whatever, like probably it's a sweater, so how it fits on you, whatever it is, you can see that, right? Or it just like, I mean, obviously for us that wouldn't work because they have so many brands, but probably something like, okay, so you scan this QR code and we give you a comparison to TG Maxx or whatever, I don't know, or like the retail price or Amazon price, so you can see how good of a deal you get if you shop from us. Or you can scan this QR code and we'll give you other recommendations from this store, like this sweater goes along very well with jeans at aisle number 10 or something, right? So create this experience and make it mobile friendly. So step number 1 and step number 2, they go hand in hand. And step number 3 and 4 also go hand in hand, but we approach the same thing from a different angle. So make sure you ask for feedback and give a reward in terms of a voucher, like an in-store voucher. The feedback helps you create an even better experience for the store. So whenever you ask for feedback, obviously you'll get it if you also offer a reward. And I mean, most people will give you the feedback for a reward, and you can create an even better experience for them. And the in-store voucher will make them a recurrent client, will make them come back to your store. And obviously, like most of the people who get back, like I think the stats are like 70% of the people who get back because they have a voucher also buy something else from that store, like they pay cash for it, right? So, or card, obviously, but you get a point. So it's a win-win for you. You get feedback to improve the experience and they come back to you. And obviously step number 4, because I'm the ads guy over here, right? You cannot cross that off the list. Your store can be a gem, can be the beauty down the block, but if nobody knows about it, especially when you're starting small, it's no good. Like you ain't gonna have no sales, right? So you can either continue running those newspaper and TV ads, which cost a fortune and have like little to no trackable results, or you can start using local ads on social media platforms like Facebook and start advertising for pennies. I mean, most of my clients use a $500 a month budget, and their stories like it's full of people, right? So after 3 months of advertising, it's with us, it's they're like, hey dude, I'm gonna pay you right now just to stop advertising because like I cannot take it anymore, right? But enough with the talk. I'll just go over to my iPad right now and show you real quick how you can use Facebook to advertise your platform, how this works for you. It's super easy. Don't bother. Like just we'll see you in a couple of seconds, right? Talk soon, guys. Hey guys, so we're back on the iPad And I'm gonna show exactly what we do for our clients. And you can do this in your business. You can implement this, I would say, over a weekend, but that would be a stretch because you can literally do this in a couple of hours. Like probably it would take you 2 or 3 hours of focused work to do this, but over a weekend while serving clients in your location. So this is called video views, right? It's type of campaign on Facebook. So after at this point, I assume you know how to set up a business manager on Facebook, and just Google it. It's super simple. Facebook has all this valuable information about it. So I'm not going to go through that right now. But once there, you click on create a campaign, you choose this video views, and it's super simple. Like on the campaign level, you can set a budget and leave it like that, right? This is the campaign level. And then on the ad set level, you choose a location, a radius, right? So you'll see down there, you have location, and you can actually type in your physical address. Let's say 1309 Coffin Avenue, amazing writing, Remus. And I can pinpoint, like, let me change this. Okay, cool. I can pinpoint this and then say to Facebook, hey, Facebook, I want a 1 mile radius, right? Or hey, Facebook, I want a 10-mile radius from that. Or probably I want a 25-mile radius from that location. What's a good radius? I don't know. It depends on how willing are people to drive off to your location. If you have a coffee shop, probably I would go for something like 1 to 5 miles for a coffee shop, or something like G shop, super small, super local, something that probably people going to work will pass by while in their way to work. And 10 miles, probably I would go for something like clothing store, or something that it's not super unique. Like you could find other clothing stores as well, but it's still something that people would want to drive off to, at least to like just window shopping or something like that. So I wouldn't say it's like Ross, but something like Ross, right? So that's what I would go, like 10 miles to 15 miles, and then 25 plus. This is if there's like something super unique about my store. It's something super, like people are willing to drive for 25 miles to get to my store and 25 miles to get back home. This probably is something like, I don't know, like it has to be unique in a way, like tailor-made drapes, I don't know, or antique furniture shop, which specializes in antique clocks. Okay, so people may be willing to drive there, because how many antique shops with antique clocks are in a 1 mile radius? Not so many, right? So this is how I would decide on the radius. But if you do like a 25-mile radius for a coffee shop, I mean, probably somebody will stop by you. I doubt it. I highly doubt it, because on that 25-mile radius, I can guarantee they can find 15 Starbucks on the way. So, if not even more. So, it's not even worth driving to, right? And then on the ad level, this is the last level you want. You put here a video and a short description. Short description. This is super small. It's usually something along the lines of, hey, we have cool coffee from Colombia. It's freshly brewed every single morning. We have this new type of coffee, whatever, like something that relates to your store. It's not really unique to your store, but it kind of like emphasizes the culture of your store, or the message you want your store to put out there in the universe. And on the video, this is where most of our clients are stuck when they work with us, but we always tell them, hey, it's not that hard. You just pick up your phone, you shoot a video of your location, you talk like for a couple of seconds, probably a minute or so, about what you're offering there, who you're offering it to, and why people should visit you. And that's pretty much it, right? So let's say for a coffee shop. So I had this friend. He owned a coffee shop. So I advised him, hey, the only thing you could say about your coffee shop, because he had nothing special about it. It was just like a regular coffee shop, right? You create an amazing atmosphere here, and with this, like he had like those chairs, like the bar stools, right? Right next to the window, and people love to work there. So I told him, hey, do a video about that. Just like shoot the video when a couple of people are working, and probably even try to get them like say a thing or two on the camera, or not. Just talk about how awesome it is to work in your coffee shop, how cozy it is, and all that, right? I also had a customer. He owns a Pilates studio. He is on a high ticket clients. He only needs high ticket clients. So I advised him, emphasize the cleanliness, and not only that, but the tidiness, and like it's his studio is so minimalist, and it gives you that sense of freedom where you're in there, right? So I told him, like, people with money, but they love this sense of freedom. So shoot a video around that, right? So yeah, for every store is different. Obviously there's a lot we can talk about here, but if you want us to run ads for you, I would be more than willing to hop on a free call with you. You can find my Calendly link down below or on our website, and we can talk more. Or if you just want some quick tips and tricks, you can get on a free YouTube call with me, which means that for 30 minutes you get to ask me whatever you want. The only trick to it is that our call will be recorded and put on YouTube in order to help more small business owners like yourself. Because after all, well, we are all working together at making the US economy boom again, right? So in the meantime, I would love to see your thoughts on this. Leave a comment down below or schedule a call with me, and we'll talk soon, guys. Take care. Thank you.